Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, it wouldn't be a Madonna appearance without some shenanigans.
No, why would you?
What happened when Madge sat down with Jimmy Fallon? Then, beyond awkward, Whoopi Goldberg is fat-shamed on The View. More on the joke that wasn't funny at all. And every time she's here, she causes a commotion. There's another Madonna reference. In the best way possible. Today, Stephanie Hansen returns with another cookie recipe that I promise you will want to try. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, St. Paul. Good morning, North St. Paul. Good morning, West St. Paul. Good morning, East St. Paul. Good morning, South St. Paul. And good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another mister and Cracker Barrel's Employee of the Month, Kendall Mark.
Don't forget about North St. Paul.
I went through every direction of St. Paul. I did say North, didn't I? Said that was the first one I said. I said St. Paul, North St. Paul, West St. Paul, East St. Paul, South St. Paul. And for those watching in other parts of the country, all of those really are separate towns.
Not all connected either.
Not all
it's
connected.
Kind of odd that way.
How you doing?
Great. Happy Friday.
Happy. Aren't we excited it's Friday? Mm-hmm. That's right. We got that Friday feeling around here.
I got that feeling.
That's right. Oh, okay. A little too early for karaoke there, Wine Wendy.
Sorry.
Anyway, hey, we want to start off with some good news. Well, first of all, let's start off with this. Tomorrow are the Midwest Emmy Awards. Now,
it's just upper Midwest too, right? Like
and let's be clear, not even just the Midwest. It's basically just the Minnesota Iowa Awards. No, I'm just joking. It's the upper Midwest Emmys. We're up again in Best Sports Show or something. What category are we in? Entertainment talk show. So you have to be entertaining or you have to be a talk show to... Entertainment program. So you have to be a program and provide some sort of entertainment.
Yes.
So we're in this category and we have a losing streak going. We've been nominated for about 6 times and we've lost every single time. And we always lose to our friends at public television. It's either an opera about pirates or it's an opera about like Romeo and Juliet. Dracula. Oh, we lost against a Dracula opera one time. Mm-hmm. One time we lost to a documentary about buffaloes. So we're up against this year, we're up against another nature thing.
There's one about a church, I think.
Oh, we're up against one about a house in South Dakota.
That's it.
Not even the entire state of South Dakota. Mm-hmm. It's about a house in South Dakota.
We're going to lose.
We are going to lose. We're ready to lose.
We don't show up.
We're not going because I don't want to eat, the chipper chicken and lose. So we're sending a lady named Lori Lees Fisher. She's an executive producer here. She has her she does a jazzercise class in the morning.
AKA spin.
And then she's going to go to the Emmys for us and then accept on our, lose in our honor. Now, we are the losers here in our building.
Yeah.
But we actually have winners in our building. All kidding aside, our creative service team, and if you don't know what creative service means, they're creative and they're a service. They do graphics. Like, see this thing behind me, this purple thing? That was done by a lady named Kimberly. It makes it sound like she's 90. A wonderful colleague, Kimberly, did this. The open that you just saw, Kimberly designed that. Take a shot, Leo. The graphics, our stripy little design, that's all Kimberly. That's all our creative service department right there. Everything you see, like creative, is them. The promos. Anyway, so their version of the Oscars is called the DM. Is it a DM?
It's not a DMV.
See, a Promax award. Our team won an award for this promo. Look at this.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say.
That's right. That spot won a Pro Max Image Award yesterday. And that's the top awards in entertainment marketing and design. It's basically the Oscars of entertainment marketing and design. And our team won for that promo, featuring Yam House singing our theme song. Congratulations to our creative service department. They are creative. And they're a service. They're a service. So everything, they're really good. Kimberly, I love that woman. We have the same woman. Now she sounds like she's 80. But I love that colleague. We have the same taste. She knows what I'm thinking. When I go, okay, I have this idea, and I want these stripes. And then she takes and runs with it. She's the best. Then we have Sammy. Sammy comes in here to shoot the promos. The best dressed person in our building.
That's for sure.
He drives backwards, though. He drives backwards, but he's the best dressed person in our building. So congratulations to all of them. And I told them to have that promo run in Seattle. You know?
Yeah.
You can barely tell that's shot in Minneapolis. Anyway, congratulations, guys. Let's get going. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it. Oh, and if you're by any type of religious institution on Saturday, drop in and say a prayer for us, would you, for the Emmys? Thank you. Any denomination. Madonna made a rare appearance on Late Night last night. She appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and things, as they do with Madonna, got a little crazy. Look at this.
In the show is that artists are here to disturb the peace. And so I hope that I have disturbed not only your peace this afternoon, but
You always
people's
disturb my peace.
while they
Yeah.
watch the show. But I mean that in the best way.
No, yeah, you get in good trouble.
Good trouble.
Yeah, you really do. No, why would you? Madonna! Stop it. Oh my heavens, stop it. I don't know what to do. Stop it right now, absolutely. This is absolutely. Wait.
See anything.
Thank you. Stop.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Fun fact, photographer Eric lays across my desk during the commercial breaks.
It's very exciting.
Not quite the same thing. Madonna's new concert film, this is why she's out promoting. It's called Madam X. It's now streaming on Paramount Plus. Look, a couple things. I love Madge. I'm a kid of the 80s. I love Madonna. I love everything about, she drives me crazy sometimes. Like, she's had that grill for a while. Can we move on from the grill? I don't like that's I like so look, because we all have, it's like SNL casts. We all have our favorite era of Madonna. Mine is personally Blonde Ambition, like the early 90s, the Vogue era. That's my favorite Madonna era, if I have to pinpoint one. This is probably my least favorite. I don't like the Madam X thing. I don't like it. I want the next iteration. Let's move on from Madam X and get rid of the grill. But everything else, I don't age shame. I love that Madonna, she's what, Jeff, mid-60s, right? Yeah. I love that she's, again, I say it 800 times a year, people that redefine ages.
She looked good, and she acts like she doesn't care either, and she's always acted that way, so it's refreshing.
Yep. Next in the dish, Brittany Murphy was on her way to becoming, it's just so sad. She was really on her way to becoming a major star in Hollywood before she died in 2009. I can't believe it was that many years ago. She was only 32 years old. The actress's death is now the focus of a new HBO Max docuseries. If you haven't seen it, take a look a little bit of the trailer.
Brittany Murphy was super cute, but in Hollywood, you have to be Gwyneth Paltrow.
She was not a typical pretty girl, and so many young women in Hollywood are pressured enormously. She had lost an inordinate amount of weight, and she was dressing totally differently.
She said, that's what I've been told, if I wanted to be considered as a leading lady. During a little dip she was having, he came along. And I think that's where her judgment was muddled, and she became prey.
Simon said that he was the largest collector of Vermeer, dated Elle Macpherson and Madonna. He said that he had been dying from terminal brain cancer and that he had bought an experimental treatment derived from the fins of sharks. Every single word out of his mouth was a lie.
Yeah, monster. I think Brittany would be alive today if it wasn't for that dude. Brittany's death was ruled the result of pneumonia, iron deficiency, and drugs. Her husband mysteriously died a few months later. The two-part docuseries drops next week. I remember where I was. There's two deaths of celebrities in fairly recent times that I remember where I was. Amy Winehouse and then Brittany, because both were very young, and I was shocked because I know the youngins now. She was in everything. She was an it girl. I hate that term, but she was one of the it people. She was hot. I mean, Hollywood loved her, and fans loved her, and they fell in love with her in Clueless in '95, and never stopped loving her. And she was one of those tragic characters because you knew she was vulnerable and you wanted to take care of her, you know?
Yeah, I loved her in so many movies, like 8 Mile, Uptown Girl. Was it Just Married with Ashton Kutcher? Is that what it was called? Yeah. She just was so fun and bright. Like, you wanted to be friends with her.
Yeah.
It was really
She
sad.
seemed, you know what it was? Part of her appeal, she seemed very approachable, right? She seemed like she's a star, but you could come up to her at Target and say, hey, Brittany, you know.
Hey, girl. And she'd be like,
girl.
oh, my God, you know who I am.
Yeah.
Like, she seems like she would be like that.
When we were discussing this in the meeting, Kendall and I found out something else we have in common, and that is we both found Eminem attractive in the late 90s.
Oh, so hot.
Yeah. I mean, now not so much, but yeah, back in the day.
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah. They had an Eminem playlist on the gym yesterday. It was one Eminem song after another. I'm like,
Was it fabulous?
Well, no. I mean, can we get some Mariah up in here? Or
I'm
something?
sorry.
Yeah. I need a little fantasy or a little emotions.
On behalf of Detroit, we're offended.
Okay, like you come from Detroit.
I don't know.
Kendall Mark from the streets of Detroit. Yeah. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us, everybody. More hot topics, more hot dish. Next, Adele is speaking out on the backlash that she received after losing weight and what shocked her the most. Then, her ideas and recipes always cause a buzz. Stephanie Hansen returns with her legendary recipe for pumpkin cookies. Find out what makes them so good. And Kendall is giving you a tour through a store that's all about helping us all go zero waste. That and more when we come back.
When you were on Happy Days, I mean, and so many people, I mean, we think a lot of people watch shows now, but at that time it was, I don't know how many.
Well, there were only 3 channels.
Yeah, there were 3 channels and then 13, PBS on top. But could you go out? Like, were you able to be in public at all?
It was really scary. I mean, people wanted, you know, they thought I was the Fonz. So the 4 of us, Ron Howard and Don Most and Anson Williams and I, went to Dallas because on weekends or on a break of filming the show, we would go out and promote the show. So we're in Dallas. We're at the flagship of Neiman Marcus. 25,000 people show up.
Wow.
And they are standing between us and the limo. Donnie Most got a little nervous. I said, don't worry. I walked to the crowd, to the edge of the crowd, and I said, all right, look. You're not going to touch us. You're going to part like the Red Sea.
They did. Great story from the one and only Henry Winkler, better known as the Fonz on Kimmel last night. Well, you know, Fonz wasn't supposed to be the character. He was never supposed to be a big character, but then they saw Henry, saw how good he was, and Fonzie became the central character, especially after Ron Howard left. Well, you know, on Fridays, we get an extra serving hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Give it up for our friend Jacob Wasserman from TMZ. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing well. First up, there's a lot of names in the news this week. Adele's one of them, and Dave Chappelle is another. What's happening with Dave?
So Dave Chappelle this week came out with his new Netflix special, which he's actually been under fire for due to some homophobic and transphobic comments. And even though he's a comedian, he's being criticized for some of the things he's been saying is a little bit over the line. One of which being he was discussing DaBaby, who you might recall made some homophobic comments at Rolling Loud a few months ago, which he was canceled for. And Dave said in his special that the gay community took more of a problem with DaBaby's comments at Rolling Loud rather than the fact that he killed someone at a Walmart years ago. So he's been under fire for that. We got Dave out, leaving a club a few days ago in Hollywood. And he was all smiles when the paparazzi was peppering him with questions about this, he just seems he's going to keep a smile on his face and keep trucking through. And at least for last night, he had a huge show at the Hollywood Bowl, which I went to. I'm exhausted right now, but it was an incredible show. He came out to a standing ovation, and the first thing he said was, if this is what being canceled is like, I love it. So it seems like he's just going to keep his head down now and keep plowing through it.
Yeah. Next up, Bravo is capitalizing on the Erika Jayne controversy and is pushing back. But they're pushing for a quick turnaround for the next season of Beverly Hills, because usually they wait about 6 or 8 months, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Bravo right now loves the drama going on between Erika Jayne and her ex-husband, Tom Girardi. And as you mentioned, usually when the season's over, they take a 6-month or so hiatus. They want to get filming as soon as possible because they just love the drama between these two. You might recall that they filed for divorce last month. Erika's come out saying that this is a sham divorce and that Tom is hiding assets, and Bravo just loves this this feud. So they want to get filming as soon as possible. We're being told that they might be filming as soon as next week, and you're going to see a lot of the returning cast members, Kylie Richards, and a lot others who were featured last season, but it's clear that they found their cash cow in Erika Jayne. So I'm excited to see what comes.
I do too, because they're going to need something, because usually Housewives of New York films right now, and that's not filming at all for the time being. So it makes sense, if I'm a Bravo boss, you need to fill the Housewives universe with something.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
You make a good point. I think maybe they should appoint you as the Bravo boss.
Well, I wouldn't mind. Finally, hey, Kelly Clarkson had a big win in court this week. What happened?
Yeah, so Kelly Clarkson has been going through a very messy divorce with her ex-husband, Brandon Blackstone. Or Blackstock, rather. So just to give some background, one of the most prized possessions in this divorce has been their Montana ranch, which Brandon is still currently living in. So there seems to be a misunderstanding between the two, because as you can see, this is an amazing ranch and Brandon is still living there. We got Brandon out at LAX a few days ago, and the cameraman asked him about the ranch, and he said, well, the judge hasn't ruled on that. When we're going through this divorce, he said the judge hasn't made a decision yet. The only problem is the judge has. So Brandon has been trying to get assets back from Kelly Clarkson. He signed a prenup before he got married, but he's been arguing that since they bought the house while they were still together, he should get this house. The judge has not ruled in his favor at all. In fact, last month, he ruled in Kelly Clarkson's favor, saying that this falls under her prenup and Brandon should not be there. And as Kelly Clarkson sees this, we're being told by our sources that they view Brandon as a squatter. So really, he should not be there at all. And maybe if I were Brandon, I would be talking to my lawyer, because he needs to get filled in on a few things.
Can you imagine being a squatter in a Montana ranch? I'm just getting that visual. Jacob, have a good weekend, my friend. Get some rest, okay? You need some rest. Yes.
I'll try.
Thank you. Yeah, look, you know me. I say all the time what stories. I don't like I try not to be overly sensitive about stuff, but I gotta say I love Chappelle. I do, but I don't like some of the comments. Some of them I don't mind, but I don't think he realizes, especially in this time, that some things can lead to possible violence. So that's the thing that bothers me. The comment about that newer gays, he said, are a little brittle and a little too sensitive. I got to be honest, sometimes folks are a little too sensitive. You know that. I say it all the time. So that is fine, but the other stuff I don't agree with, and I don't like it all. Next in the dish, Adele is making headlines this morning after she became the first person to simultaneously be on the cover of both American and British Vogue. How cool is that? You may look at this, everybody. You may remember this Adele. Adele revealed her dramatic 100-pound weight loss last May. She said she was hurt by some of the comments from women about her weight loss, but explains people were so shocked because she hadn't really posted anything for 2 years. So when she revealed it, it was a big surprise. People were like, what? She said she worked out as a way to deal with anxiety following her divorce. Makes sense. And had nothing to do with losing weight. I read most of the article, and she said, and they were quoting some of the women that had posted comments. She said, you know, rather bluntly that it hurt her feelings. Because I think when people, I mentioned this a little bit yesterday, I think people think folks like Adele, they have a force field around them with comments and they can't get hurt. They're people too. And she was showing comments of, like, this one woman said, oh, you know, I liked you when you were bigger, but now I don't really identify with you. And I always say, I said this yesterday, that's projection. That's when you're projecting your stuff onto other people. Those comments have nothing to do with Adele. They have everything to do with the author of those comments. And I remember, Jeff is going to nod his head here, I remember when Oprah lost weight the second time. She did a show where she invited viewers on to confront her with hateful mail, like negative emails, or negative mail. We didn't have email back then. And this one woman said, you know, when you were heavier, I would have invited you over to lunch, but now that you're skinny again, I can't, I wouldn't. You seem off to me. And that always struck me weird. And then right then, even as a young 20-something, I thought, lady, that's about you. That's not about Oprah, don't you think?
Yeah, it is very weird. And they talked to her trainer too, and he was like, since day one, that's what she said. She wanted to come in and be stronger physically so that she could work on her mental strength too, because she was so anxious and she was dealing with all these different things. So good on you, girl. You look good before, you look good now.
I'm a fan regardless.
Right.
You know, I really am. Next in the dish, things, whew, got a little tense. I think horribly awkward is another term too on The View. I know y'all don't watch The View because you watch us live, but anyway, so here's the deal. Shark Tank stars Mark Cuban, Damon John, and Barbara Corcoran were on. And Barbara tried to make a joke, but she shouldn't have. Just watch.
They're great jeans.
Yeah. Well, I have to try them.
You have to. They're really good.
Will they fit this COVID?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they will.
Just thought I would ask.
They fit this COVID.
Okay. Okay, if they fit two COVID butts, we'll be fine. Yeah, she's acting like she got some behind.
And when you get finished with those jeans and decide you don't like them, give them to me. I'm going to make 2 pairs.
All right.
Oh, Barbara.
Okay, so now we don't like you.
What's the
Right there, we cut it off, but right there, Anna Navarro jumped in. Because, you know, Whoopi looked uncomfortable. Anna jumped in and criticized Barbara Corcoran's dress. She goes, I have seen First Lady Jill Biden and somebody else already wear that dress on television. She tried to jump in for, you know. Now, for her part, Barbara issued an apology on Twitter shortly after. Look at this.
I just came back from The View and saw my old friend Whoopi. As you well know, she has a phenomenal sense of humor, and I've known Whoopi for years. I made a joke at Whoopi's expense, which I now realize wasn't funny. For anyone who I may have offended unintentionally, I just want to say I really am very sorry.
Whenever you have to say, for anyone I may have offended, it's not really an apology. That's a fake Paula Deen-esque apology. Booter and oil. Whoopi responded saying she and Barbara have known each other for a long time and knew Barbara was joking. That's very gracious of Whoopi. Here's my thing with Barbara. I'm not going to bemoan. I'm not going on and on and on about this. When is a fat joke ever really funny unless you're a comedian or unless you're in a tight group of friends where everybody knows everybody's rhythm? You know what I mean? Then it's all right. But on TV, and especially coming, I'm going to be blunt here, especially coming from a very thin woman saying that to somebody else, it lands differently. It lands differently.
It's just cheap humor.
Yeah, low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're gonna do a crass joke, it better be funny, and that wasn't funny. We're gonna take a break. You know who is funny? Stephanie Hansen. She's coming up in just a little bit with a cookie recipe you don't wanna miss. That and more when we return. Guess what, everyone? The Tomato Lady's here. That's what you're known for.
I know, but today I look
I haven't introduced you yet.
Oh, sorry.
It's the season for everything pumpkin spiced, and our next guest has another recipe for you to try that you're going to love. Please welcome back to the show my dear friend. You love her, I love her. The Tomato Lady herself, Stephanie Hansen, everyone.
Today I'm wearing pumpkin-y autumnal colors, so you can start calling me the Pumpkin Lady.
We informed Stephanie that all of you are new Washington friends. We got a lot of emails yesterday, too, by the way. they refer to you as the tomato lady.
It's good. I can be the tomato lady, the pumpkin lady, the zucchini lady. Just cook my recipes. That's all I care about.
And follow her.
Yeah.
Okay, let me set the table, so to speak, here. The last time you did a cookie recipe, a few years ago, we're still getting emails about it. So I'm very afraid of this segment for the best reasons possible. What are we making?
Well, we are making pumpkin, goat cheese, pumpkin spice cookies.
Okay, you know right away, you're gonna lose people right there. I can see people at home going like this. Ooh.
On the goat cheese or the pumpkin spice?
The goat cheese.
People have feelings. Okay, so do you remember, like, okay, my grandma used to make a maple cookie that had this like buttery frosting.
Okay.
And then she died, and of course, no one kept the recipe. And so we've been trying to recreate it all this time. Jason's laughing because I'm kind of a Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
And
We'll be in the middle of a happy. Stephanie was with us at Disney World, and we called her Debbie Downer because we would be in the middle of a happy moment, and Steph's like, would you like fun facts about morticians? So, I mean, the fact that you just threw into the middle of your recipe. So this is my grandma's recipe. She's very dead.
But, okay, so I've been trying to recreate this.
Yeah.
And the flavors of like pumpkin spice and carrot cake and cream cheese, all that is good.
Yeah.
But a cream cheese frosting alone can be a little, it's a lot, right?
It can be, yeah.
So I found this pumpkin spice goat cheese and I thought, well, that's gonna be delicious. And indeed it is. Okay, when I left my house this morning, I had half of the cookies than when I went to bed. And I only have one person living at home, and that's my husband, Kurt. So I knew they were super good.
So you had, wait a minute, Eric, Eric, take a shot.
I had to like spread them out so it looked like there was enough, because he
last night there was double this amount?
Yes, because the recipe makes 3 dozen. So there's probably, how many dozen left here, 2?
Okay, 2.
Okay, so this is the frosting that we put on. It's very spreadable. These are refrigerator cookies, and if they last that long, because honestly, they won't. So it's butter, it's cream cheese, and it's pumpkin spice goat cheese.
We have, well, let's do this. Let's put up, Leo, go ahead and put up, so people can see. Y'all come back to the TV. We're gonna put up the ingredients for the cookie. Is this right here? Right there, there we go.
Yeah, the cookie is really pretty, this is the frosting,
yep. It's fine, let's do the frosting first.
So it's pretty simple. It's butter, it's cream cheese, and it's the goat cheese. And what the goat cheese does is it makes it a little more interesting. It makes it a little lighter. It makes it have a little bit of tart to balance out the sweet.
Okay.
I know, it sounds
No,
weird,
I'm
but
willing to try it.
it's quite delicious.
Yeah, okay, now here, so there's the frosting recipe. Now, Director Leo's, now this is the recipe for the cookies, everyone.
Yeah, and the cookie is super easy to make. They puff up and they're like cake, kind of. They have a thicker consistency to them.
But this is your recipe. You're being very modest, but this is the cookie recipe that's really good.
Oh,
it's not just a standard. That's you do a really good cookie.
And you can eat them without the frosting, really.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be, it's kind of like eating pumpkin bread, you know, without the icing. It's kind of the same thing. So I want you to try one though.
Okay, did the husband, I mean, obviously we're missing 3 dozen, so I don't even know why I'm asking this.
We're missing at least a dozen.
So does Kurt like these?
Oh yeah, loved. And in fact, he asked me, he goes, do you think you'll bring them home when you're done?
And you gave him a big no.
No.
Have you met our crew?
They will eat them at
Floor
Fox.
Director Tyler is already like waiting for these cookies. Yes.
Okay.
Should I try one?
Pick one? Yes, and I want to pick one that maybe I don't want to drip on your suit.
Well, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay. All right. Maybe we pick this one. Whoops.
Okay. You drop.
Okay, so the knife fell.
The knife fell, and there's frosting all over my suit.
But I'm trying.
Okay, come over here, Eric.
Okay,
get a shot.
so yeah, I got frosting on his suit. Okay.
Right there.
It happens.
Okay.
We're fine.
Tyler, may I get a towel, please? A wet towel, Tyler.
I'm like the worst guest. I make you eat things
I swear
that
I'm
you
gonna
don't
sue
want
you.
to eat.
I'm just telling you.
If you sued me, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I have nothing to give you. So it would just be a fun exercise.
Okay. Here, now you got to talk while I eat, because you know our president.
I know, Mem does not
Marion
like...
Mem Jong-un hates people eating on television.
I understand. But if you're doing a cooking segment...
Sorry, I can eat though.
Yeah, someone has to.
Yeah, Kendall, eat one. If you go first, so I can talk to Stephanie.
Now
I don't want to upset our boss. I don't need an email today.
So you frost these, and the longer you let them set up, they will be not so wet and drippy. They will be a little more stable.
Okay. Kendall took 2 right away.
Well,
so
I'll just take another one too if you need me to.
That's fine. There we go.
Kendall, you're my favorite taste tester because she likes everything I cook.
Thanks,
They're
Stephanie
really,
Hansen.
really good. And you don't taste like any weird goat cheese flavor. It's just kind of a tanginess that comes through with the cream cheese.
They're really good.
Oh, I'm scared because you have a totally straight face. Usually by now you've said
That's the only
something
straight
good.
thing about me.
You don't love.
I made the joke before you at home could. These are amazing.
Oh, yay! Thank you. I really think they're super good. And it takes the frosting a bit to set up, and so we just frosted these.
Go ahead and throw me the towel, Tyler, because now Stephanie's going to clean my...
I'm going to clean your pants.
You gave me a dry towel? Oh, it is wet. Okay. I'll clean my own feet.
Okay,
I'll
I was
clean
gonna
my
help.
shoes. We're good friends, but not that
clean
good of friends.
Jesus' feet. But that's what a sign of endearment. It's loving. Okay, here's another thing
Did you just touch me again with your frosting hands?
I did. Okay, you guys, one important thing. When you're at the store and you're buying the pumpkin, make sure you buy the plain pumpkin. Don't buy
That's your
pumpkin
camera right there.
high spice filled pumpkin. Just get plain pumpkin.
Okay, we got to go before this stains my suit.
I know, we're good, but try and make
Okay,
these.
Stephanie, we're done. For the recipe, head to stephaniesdish.com. More with Stephanie Hansen in a little bit. We're playing a game. I couldn't love you more. Back in a moment.
When the knife fell.
Welcome back, everyone. Go to Instagram and you can see what happened in that commercial break. We all know the benefits of reducing how much stuff we throw away, but figuring out ways to do it can sometimes be a little difficult. Well, here's the deal. One new store is helping us all out. Their mission is to help people go zero waste, or zero-ish. Kendall takes a trip to zero-ish here in Minneapolis.
Okay, when you were coming up with a name for your store, were you like zero-ish? Like, I mean, was it kind of a joke? And then you're like, no, actually, this makes a lot of sense.
So actually, going back, the zero-ish was not my idea. I have to not take credit for it.
It's great.
We started as a blog about 4 years ago, actually, with 2 friends of mine. So one of my friends actually came up with the name, and we all just felt like, man, this really, speaks to us, because we do a lot of ish things in our life, where we approach it where we can't go 100%. We find that it's a much more approachable way to start out with zero waste, or to discover it, or even just if you are familiar with zero waste, but maybe you're finding that, real life makes it pretty hard because it's unattainable. The zero-ish model really kind of helps.
What are some of the big things that you get people coming in here asking about a lot?
Yeah, how to use a shampoo bar versus liquid shampoo is very foreign to a lot of people. Even just simple swaps that people don't know exist. Like say they don't know that there's a swap for their floss that's plastic, that's actually a biodegradable, compostable floss.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's multiple. There's a vegan version, there's a non-vegan. They also don't necessarily know that they can get something simple like lip balm that would normally come in a plastic tube, but it's actually available in non-plastic.
I want to check out the refillery. Is that what you call it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can we go look at that? When I saw this on your website, I was like, the refillery, that's awesome, because I have invested in some reusable soap bottles and stuff, but it's like, okay, now what? You can do all that here. How does this work?
So you can bring your own container from home, like you said, if you have your soap bottle that you really like, or even if you just have one that you had bought, it might be plastic from Target.
Right.
You can reuse it over and over. So you bring it in, you would weigh it at one of our scale stations. Okay. So you get the weight of the empty container, or even if there's a little bit left in there, it's okay.
Right.
You get the starting weight. And then you just fill it with whatever products you want. And we do the final weight at the end. So we subtract the weight of that empty container, and you're only paying for for what you're filling it with. We have everything from hair products, shampoo and conditioner, you know, if you're not into the bar version of that. We have a lot of oils and DIY kind of ingredients for people who like to make their own products. And then we have a whole slew of cleaning products. So everything from
A ton of cleaning products.
like we have the dry, you know, counter scrub, we have dish soap, laundry soap, hand soap, all of it.
This is very clearly labeled. Lavender dish soap. Got it. That's how much it is. Okay, like, what do I use witch hazel for? What do I use out? Are you guys open to people like me walking in and going, hi, I want to do something with this. Help me. What is all this for?
One of our goals very soon is to have little recipes of things you can make yourself. Like,
oh, cool.
Since the witch hazel is often used for homemade toner. So I think it's witch hazel and some aloe, and then people will put essential oils and whatever you want in your toner, and so you can make your own toner, and it's far and wide a lot cheaper usually.
Right, just smells good over here too.
Oh, good. Yeah,
It can smell like the little salts and the lavender. I love it.
We love it too. Great idea. That's a cool concept.
Yeah, I think so. And I really liked your idea of how we try to do things that are, you know, good for us or good for the planet, but you can't do everything really hardcore because, like, you're a normal person. So the idea of here's the things that we can do. I like that.
And plus, just being honest, people want it to be convenient.
Right,
You know what I mean? If
absolutely.
it's right there, they'll do it. Like, okay, we'll save a dolphin.
Right,
If I have a nice straw.
If
you
I
know.
have something to replace it with.
Well, like this
Right.
reminds me, a lot of hotels are going, they're getting away from the, you know, the shampoo and body lotion bottles,
Yes.
and they're attaching it to the wall and then just refilling.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, we talked about, and Kate was saying that there's places all over the country that do this too. It's not
Yep.
just here in Minneapolis.
Nope,
So.
Washington as well. Head to zeroishco.com for more. We'll be right back with a little game next. Welcome back, everyone. Stephanie Hansen returns along with Kendall. Two of my favorites in one little set. Today, they're putting me to the test because it's game time. Roll it, Leo. We are going to play guessing game, and here's how it works. You're going to hear a true life fact about either Kendall or Stephanie, and I have to guess who it happened to. So are you ladies ready?
Yes.
Okay, so here is the first dramatically read life fact.
This person's favorite fast food is Taco Bell.
Kendall.
It's
me! It's you?
Yeah, I love the Taco Bell.
Really?
Yeah, I eat it in my car, in private, alone, and then I hide the bag.
I do that with McDonald's.
Yeah, see? Shame eating.
Okay, what is your go-to order at the Bell?
Double stuffed tacos and a chili cheese burrito. And sometimes nachos El Grande, depending on what kind of day I've had.
Extra sauce.
I couldn't love this more. Okay, Leo, roll the next one.
This person has had mono twice.
Oh, she's like a carrier monkey. So Kendall. Yeah.
Yes, funny.
I'm a carrier monkey?
Yeah, you're sick. Yeah, you've told me once when you were sick you had everything.
I've been sick a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sick all the time.
So that was fairly easy. How many times? Oh, you know who told us?
Who?
Your sister, Miss Minnesota, told us at the fair.
Oh yeah, it's a great fun fact, because how many people do you know who've had mono twice?
I know.
Not many. I feel like we need to work on your diet. Like I'm gonna mother you and start bringing you
need more chicken
healthy food.
This coming from Stephanie Belgrande.
So true. So true.
Okay, fun fact number 3.
This person is very claustrophobic.
Ooh.
Oh, you ladies picked good ones because I know both of you really well. Kendall.
It is me.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is
shoot,
me.
I was trying to pretend it was me.
I know.
It was me.
'Cause, yeah, that would have come out during our trip
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
if you in confined spaces.
Yeah, because we were in a lot of confined spaces.
No. Mommy gets anxiety.
Ride cars, closets.
Oh, yeah, closets. Yeah.
Who came out of the closet?
Who was in the closet? No one on our trip, let me tell you. Okay, number 4, Leo, roll it.
This person was in a moped gang in high school.
A moped gang? Kendall.
Me! I had a red Honda moped.
What's a moped gang?
There were like 15 of us, and we would zip around on our mopeds. There were 2 girls and 13 guys all over the city of Bloomington. We were rascals.
That's a scooter company. Yeah. You really were rascals.
Oh, we were.
Yeah.
No, it was awesome.
What kind of trouble could a scooter gang get into?
Moped gang, not scooter.
I'm
moped.
sorry, moped gang.
Be clear.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got into some trouble.
What ages was the gang activity?
Like 8th to 10th grade.
Okay.
Before we got our license.
Yeah. Was the law ever involved in your shenanigans?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
Don't incriminate yourself. What happens in the moped gang
I was gonna
stays
say,
in the moped gang.
the first rule of moped gang is don't talk about
That's
moped
exactly
gang.
right.
Leo, roll number 5.
This person played percussion for 3 years.
You.
I'm so bad at
Yeah.
this.
Because we've talked about band a couple times.
Yes.
And also, may I tell you, never play poker because
I
you don't have it. Yeah.
What did you play?
I was a percussionist, so I played like a little bit of everything. But my big moment was when I played the timpani in Perseus and the Sea Monster, and I was the Sea Monster.
Timpani is a very interesting arrangement.
Thanks.
I like
Interesting,
that, though.
Kendall,
She's our
interesting
own
is Stephanie's
Sheila E.
way of saying no.
No, not gonna-
One more, here we go.
This person once poisoned a former Viking's daughter with blue bubble bath disguised as raspberry soda.
What?
What?
Stephanie?
What?
How did you know it was me?
You poisoned
It
somebody?
was by accident. I was in like 4th grade, and Wally Hildenberg's daughter, he was a Viking. She lived by us, and we thought she was annoying, and so we tricked her. We put blue raspberry bubble bath in a soda bottle, and we were like, "Here, have the new kind of soda." And she went home crying, and then her dad came barreling up the street, and he was this giant man with these huge hands because he was a Viking, and we were scared. That was me.
Did you just indict yourself into a...
I told you to stop incriminating yourself on the
It
show.
wasn't really poison. It was kind of poison.
She had her
There's
stomach.
not a middle ground,
Just a
Hanson.
little poison.
Stephanie Hansen, everybody. Check her out on stephaniesdish.com. And if you're the St. Paul Police, follow her there too. We'll be right back, everybody. Back in a moment. Oh my. Sorta poisoned her. Sorta.
That is.
Welcome back, everybody. We're glad you're here. Stephanie's over there eating cookies still. It is time for the world's shortest segment. Right there. Kate Walsh returned to Grey's Anatomy last night. She shared a few pictures from a TV Guide photo shoot on her Instagram page. Gosh, she looks good. Kate says it's great to be reunited with her Grey's team, and I bet you're happy too. I love her. We'll be back right after this with a surprise goodbye. Welcome back. Kendall's here. It is time for the surprise goodbye. Okay, there we go. Tomorrow marks the third. We got to turn that up eventually. Tomorrow marks the 35th anniversary of the debut of our network, Fox. It started broadcasting on October 9th, 1986. And the first show was The Late Show with Joan Rivers. And one of her first guests was someone I love. Look at this.
My first guest this evening is one of the most despicable, corrupt, merciless men on television, but he's a millionaire, so it's okay. Once a week, for the past 8 years, 360 million people in 57 countries have watched this gentleman, the man they love to hate, Joan Crawford in a 10-gallon hat, Mr. Larry Hagman. Mr. Ewing.
Joan Carson.
I'm sorry, darling. There's so many of them, you know.
I'm the only woman who ever left him and didn't ask for money. So
Monday on the show, my latest Best Thing Ever, a docuseries I just finished that I can't wait to tell you about. You are going to love it. But right now, that is going to do it for us. We're going to go eat cookies with Steph. If you're a kid watching and you're being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody. Come on, Kendall. Let's go eat some more cookies.
Okay.